So it's been raining. He's just going to sit. Yep. That's what I figured. Huh? It's not the same, is it? Huh? He's 10 and a half. He's not going to take off running around and rolling around in the snow anymore. He's just going to sit there and let it accumulate. But he won't come inside. It's been raining. And it just turned to snow a minute ago. And he has no interest. I tried to get him to go inside, and that was my answer. He just laid down there. I mean, it's coming down in buckets, Fluffy. It's actually pretty cool, though. It almost looks CGI, but it's not. All right, buddy. Well, I'll leave you out here.
We're hanging overtime! We're hanging overtime! We're hanging overtime!
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
All right, Panther fans. So, got the Penguins tonight, the first of two. Back-to-back on the road. Bubba, get his pregame pets. Good boy, Bubba. Keep doing what you're doing. I like it. It's been fun. The confidence that this team has, especially either goaltender, but the confidence that these guys display when Bubba especially is on the ice is, look, as Panther fans, we just haven't been in this position, like ever, okay? In '96, I mean, we didn't know what to expect, right? The year after that, we kind of screwed things up with the Stu Barnes trade, and then we lost to the Rangers in the first round. A couple times we made the playoffs. Nothing happened. President's Trophy season. At this point in the year, we kind of knew we were going to get the President's Trophy, but we didn't know if that level of play was sustainable. Last year at this point, I mean, this was before the 6-game winning streak. I wonder if this is about the time of year that we were in Toronto getting our asses handed to us by Maurice. I'm not sure. But we sure as hell weren't sure if we were making the playoffs. And now there's this year where, like, the only question is, are we going to win first place or are we just going to stick with second? I mean, we've just, as fans of this franchise, never been in this position where we're sitting here with 30 games left going, first place, second place, whatever, give us the cup. Ain't never been like that around here before. So most of us really, nobody knows how to act, and that's okay. That's all right. It's like when the Leafs finally won a round. Nobody really knew how to act. Sorry, I didn't mean for you Leaf fans to catch a stray, but it just is what it is. I'm enjoying the week that the Panthers are not having. It's not the Panthers are dirty after the whole thing that happened with the empty net goal and the cross-check and all of that. So I'm enjoying a week off from the narrative that the Panthers are the dirty team. So that is what it is. What do we need to see tonight on the road? Well, we want to win every game. Pittsburgh and Buffalo, normally on a back-to-back road game, I would say give me 3 out of 4 points. But nah. Pittsburgh, they're done. And they know they're done. They're toast. I think they lost 2 or 3 in a row. But you look at the standings, they basically have no chance to make the playoffs. They should start selling pieces soon. And then, actually, the team's probably more dangerous is Buffalo because they're probably just irritated and pissed off because they thought they had a good chance to make the playoffs this year. Most people did. And that didn't work out. So, wouldn't surprise me to see these 2 games go the way the 2 games before the All-Star break went, which is get a lead, blow a lead, win in overtime. Wouldn't surprise me to see that happen. I'm really not interested in overtime, all right? Had a long day today, did not get a nap, took the dogs to the beach. Finally made it out to the beach today. We were there for 2 hours because Fluffy refuses to leave. So I'm pretty wiped. I'm not going to lie, man. If this game is boring in the first period, I could easily fall asleep on the stream, which I might just pretend to fall asleep on the stream just to see what Kyle's reaction would be. I'm in a mood. It is what it is. Let's get to So, the Panthers and Penguins are tied with the fewest goals allowed in the Eastern Conference. I didn't check the Western Conference. For all I know, they're tied with the least amount of goals allowed in the league. And you could tell in that period. I think there were 7 combined shots. So it's going to be one of those games. That's okay. That's all right. I had a lot of extra coffee. I'm good. I'm awake. I got a headache from the coffee. Let's move on to second period. So it's 4-1 Panthers after 2. Apparently, it works in reverse. Usually, if I praise our goaltender or praise our team too much during the intermission segment, we will immediately screw that up. And I mean, I did praise the Panthers defense, but I also praised the Penguins defense. And we get 4 straight goals. The Penguins get a goal, gets called back because it was knocked down with a high stick. And then we get 2 goals in 34 seconds. Gadjevich gets his first. Kachuk got a goal and 2 assists. Ekblad gets a goal. Anton Lundell gets a goal. You kidding me? And then Pittsburgh gets one back on a seeing eye puck that kind of deflects off of Montour. And Maurice did challenge it for goaltender interference. I think that was more about just showing Bobrovsky that little bit of extra support, considering, you know, he was in the middle of a second straight possible shutout. We killed the penalty off when Bubba sat on the puck. And it's 4-1 after 2. And I know the game's not over. I know the game's not over. But all I can say, I said this on the stream, is just like Panther fans, just appreciate it. After decades and years and years and decades of sitting there with basically a half-assed team, we finally get to sit down every night and watch our team be one of the best in the NHL. And it's just a beautiful thing. Let's move on to third period, finish this up, and get 2. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 points. And almost a hat trick for one of, if not my favorite player, Anton Lundell. He was out there at the end of the game, but the Penguins decided not to pull Jari down by 3. But that is okay. Wow. I mean, if you've been a fan of this channel since the beginning, you know the first 3 years, 80 out of 82 games was just bitching and complaining and yelling and a lot of cursing and then more bitching and complaining. And even when we kind of started to get good, there was still at least 30 or 40 nights a year where we played like dog ass and we could complain. And there was always something to be like, well, we need to fix this and fix that. But now, I mean, let me see if I can find something to complain about. I mean, Jesus, even Ekblad didn't take a penalty. I'm thinking, come on, I'm going to find something. Bear with me. Reinhart didn't score. I mean, that's weak, right? Reinhart did not score. But in fact, top line didn't get a goal all night. What's going on with that? Okay? We got to have just the depth score and get all of our goals now? That's all I got, bro. As that is this team, we are locked in. And we are still not playing at our peak. But we've definitely picked it up a notch after the All-Star break. Which, by the way, I know Brandon Montour did not get a goal tonight, but if you listen to the podcast, listen to some of the other content that I put out, I've been consistently saying that the difference between Montour this year and last year is that he's taking those shots, but the deflections are not going in. Well, the deflection went in tonight. Gadjevich gets his first goal, and Montour is going to be just fine. I don't know how we're going to pay him. Don't get me started on that. I wish they would just sign Reinhart to the damn contract so we could all just rest and relax, because otherwise, just, you know, the stress and the pressure of like, what if it's the first day of free agency and we don't have them signed and we have to wait to hear if we've signed them or not? I don't want to think about that. If we're thinking about that, it better be because we're drunk from sipping from the cup. We'll put it that way. So, top line did its thing, right? Bennett, Kachuk had 3 points tonight. Okay, I think it was 3 points in the second period. I don't think he had anything in the last goal there in the third period. Pittsburgh, I said at the beginning of the game, Pittsburgh was done and not making the playoffs. The TNT announcers are trying to make it sound like, and Maurice actually did say they thought it was a big game for Pittsburgh. They started the game 7 points out with 3 in hand, and if there's anything that us Panther fans know is that games in hand don't mean it's in the hand. This is what you can do with games in hand. Okay, it just never works out. It never works out for the team that has the games in hand. It always works out for the team that was already ahead. You're 7 points out with 30 games to go. To me, it's been my experience, unless you're last year's Panthers, and I don't even think we were 7 points out at that point. That's too big of a mountain to climb. And it's not like there's just one team. They're behind a bunch of teams. So in my view, I know the Penguins are desperate. But now, I mean, at some point, they're going to have to make a decision whether they're buyers or sellers. So, other than that, I mean, the defense is just, everybody plays defense. All right, there was one sequence where the Penguins came in on a 2-on-1, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Sam Reinhart comes all the way back and intercepts the pass. And we just have to be, the Panthers must be the most maddening team to play against. Because you think you have something working, and then one of the forwards comes back and plays elite level defense, breaks it up, and you don't have anything going. And if you're not lucky, you might go back the other way and end up in the back of the net because you had a break going that way, and we're so damn good in transition that we can turn things around, and we have got to be just a massive pain in the ass to play against. So I am just enjoying this space that we're in right now. All of that said, we have unfinished business to tend to from last year, and that's the goal. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? That is absolutely the goal. This team should. You don't want to say should, right? Because how a lot of teams should. Boston can say they should. We can say they should. The Leafs. I kind of feel bad for the Leafs because the Leafs. I'm telling you, people ask me to explain what my Miami Dolphins are because they're not really football fans. Like, well, what's the Dolphins? We're like the Leafs. The Dolphins are the Leafs. It's like every year you look at the roster and you go, they should be pretty good. And their record is pretty good. And then they find a way to screw it up. Dolphins are the Leafs. The point being is that I feel good about this team. And once again, this will be the first game that I'm really watching it with just these are the guys. I said that in the last game, but what I mean is like, it did not cross my mind at any point during this game that, well, maybe we should replace Cousins or maybe we should replace Rodriguez. It's just working. It's just working. I don't think there are any moves to make. There's really no reason to make any moves. If you want to get extra depth and extra scoring forward, where are you going to put them? Well, I guess you can move Cousins down to the fourth line. You can take Gadjevich off the ice. Lomberg's not going off the ice. I don't think there's any moves to make, and it's just a beautiful thing. The only reason you're going to make a move is you're going to stash another guy, right? You know, and just stash him in case somebody gets hurt. But we're in good shape, Panther fans. Enjoy this. Enjoy this, because this what is this, 30, how many years? 93? 31 years? Well, it's 30th, right? So just enjoy it. Last year was 30, right? Because I got the 30 pin. So last year was 30, right? Or is this year 30? Whatever it is, it's been a long time. We've never been in this position where there's nothing to complain about. I mean, what makes it even better is like in the other years where we've been good, we have immediately screwed it up in the offseason where we had plenty to complain about, right? except for 95, 96, we waited until we made the trade like halfway through the season. But we've always found ways to screw it up so that we're not really, quote, good 2 years in a row. And we finally have the right owners and the right management and the scouting department and the assistant coaches. And you see they're stacking the talent. We got Luongo with the goaltenders, and Sean Thornton is in the front office. And we've got it. We have achieved what we've wanted, except for the cup. But in terms of having the proper organizational, I said it right, the right structure, and just from top to bottom, the right culture, right down to the coach, right down to the, I mean, we've achieved that. So now there's just one thing left. There's just one thing left to do, right? Stay healthy the rest of the way, collect our points, and then once those games that really count begin, you're going to see this team tornado it up another notch, and I feel good. I feel good. All right, enough babbering around. I will see you guys tomorrow at noon with the live review, and then we're back at it tomorrow. We've got Buffalo tomorrow, so the stream will be 1/2 hour before the game, and then Saturday morning I will have the review at Friday morning the review will be at noon, and then Sunday after the Saturday afternoon game, the Sunday review will be as noon as well. Last thing, you guys know I've been moving on the other channels. So we have the hockey channel, we have the football channel. I've put out 4 videos over on the exclusively male men's support channel. Links are in the description. And I have started back up the Found Tackle Fishing and Outdoors channel. That's 4. So the idea is, if you guys saw my community post earlier on in the week, I'm just going to keep working until I make enough money to pay my bills. And since it's not all coming from the hockey channel, I'm just going to take that extra energy, and now we're just going to run 4 channels. And eventually, one of them will, like, explode, right? Or I'll make $1,000 a month from all 4. I'll never sleep, but I'll pay my bills. One of those 2 things will eventually happen. I don't have an option of quitting. I just have to continue to do more of what I already do, and you guys give me great support. So eventually, it'll work out. All right, Panthers. Deuce.